So, slugs or buckshot, which one should you have for home defense? That's going to be a topic of this video, folks. This is Fernando doing another video for more survivalists, and this is a question that I got either through Instagram or in YouTube here in the comments. As always, if you're interested in these topics and want to leave a question there below, or if you have a suggestion for a video that you want me to cover, a specific topic, more than welcome. Leave that in the comments there below. I'll do my best to address it. If you want to learn more about all of this stuff, you have the channel with a ton of information already. A lot of videos. Just use the search function and you can find most topics. You also have my books, Street Survival Skills and Surviving the Economic Collapse, for the economic aspect of preparedness during hard times or an economic crisis or a full-blown collapse of your social, political, and economic system. Anyway, going specifically into this topic, which is the one that you should have? Either buckshot or slugs. The guy was asking about for home defense, which would be the best option. Let's make this super simple. Buckshot is the answer. Specifically for home defense, for self-defense, for tactical use of firearms, for military applications, for law enforcement, you will find 99% of those all over the world have buckshot, right? It's going to be double aught, triple aught buck. It's going to be 9 pellets or so, 9, 12 pellets, about 8 or 9 millimeter. And this is the kind of round that most times you will find for police and for military, and that's what you should find for home defense as well. Well, why? Well, simply because it's better. How is it better? This is more powerful, right? And I'm a super good shot, and at such a close distance, I want all the power there is. Well, yeah, you can have something very cool like this Hexolit 32. These are made in Slovakia or somewhere else in Eastern Europe. This is kind of like a hollow point slug, right? This is metal, I think it's steel, and it's designed in a way so that it pretty much explodes when it hits anything soft. So it is very dramatic and super effective. Why wouldn't you use this thing? Well, a simple answer, which is the amount of shots on target. Look, as most of you probably know, and if not, you should, it's not so much about how powerful each round is. It's about where you hit, and how many times you hit will multiply how efficient that shot was or not. In this case, when you're shooting 9, 10, 12 pellets at the same time, it means you're increasing the chance of hitting something important. If you shoot accurately with buckshot at, say, 10 yards or so, you're going to be covering quite a bit of the center of that target you're going for. This means lungs. This means heart. This means blood vessels. The more impacts you have on target, the better it is. And yes, mathematically speaking, and for the practical outcome of that, that's always gonna add up to more than just one shot placed. Oh, but I have a perfectly placed shot exactly in the center of the target. Okay, that's nice. Yeah, that's gonna be super effective. But this will multiply the chances of having that immediate stoppage that you want. It's not just about that. It's quite a bit of biology and human anatomy involved. It's also the case of having a shock effect. When someone is hit multiple times at the same time, the entire body usually goes into shutdown mode. It goes into, yes, we're done, this is it, let's go down, because if not, we will die here. And your body tends to shut down when you're shot with something like this multiple times. So that's simply the answer. This is just the way you want to go. Now, does this still have a place? Well, yeah, it probably does. Specifically for hunting, this is often used, especially where the legal restrictions means that you have to go with a shotgun instead of a rifle. And yeah, this is often used for that, for boar hunting or some other big game. Slugs, a lot of power, a lot of weight in these things, and they're super effective. Same for that one. It's also the case that if you want to make a more accurate shot at further distances, this is much preferable. You're looking at, and it's going to be depending on the brand, the type of ammunition you're shooting, the specific cartridge that you're firing. It's all the specific shell that you're using in your shotgun is going to be depending on the shotgun that you have. So those two factors will determine how accurate it is or not for you. But in a broad, generalized sense, you're looking at, for example, with that shotgun over there, And using these things, I put them one on top of the other at 25 meters, right? So it's a very small cluster, and I've managed to put in a good day, 25 meters is just pretty much a big hole with those iron sights. If you go to 50 meters, you're still looking, and I'm gonna say in average for most shotguns, not going into specific rifled shotguns with sabot slugs, no, or sabot shells, no, I'm talking about your run-of-the-mill Foster slug and your Mossberg 500 with iron sights or something similar, not super accurate, cylindrical choke. 50 meters, 60 meters, give or take, you're gonna be hitting nicely on a chest-sized target, grouping decently enough. I mean, you could take that to 100 meters if you're choosing your gun correctly and you have good ammunition. You may end up with a nice group, but it's gonna be depending a little bit more. There's gonna be more variation. You'll have to do a bit more of a better job yourself. But 60, 70 meters with these and with your typical shotgun all day long. Chest-sized target, no problem. And that is something that you just cannot squeeze out of your buckshot. So it is a case, at least the way I see it, that you keep your shotgun loaded with buckshot. That's the standard that you have in your shotgun, and maybe in a shell holder or some other way of carrying extra ammunition, you have a few of these just in case you need that longer shot because of your own specific needs, because you maybe live a little bit of in the outskirts and there's a little bit more range and distances that you may end up engaging on. If you live in an apartment complex, just forget about it. There's no sense in having these, especially because it's, I don't want to use the word overpowered, because when your life is on the line, nothing is overpowered. But this also means that you're not only just likely to miss your target, likely to hit something that's not as effective, likely to over penetrate. And this is a legit concern with something like Slugs in 12 gauge. It has a lot of power, a lot of punch, and goes through your typical home invader with enough force to hurt someone on the other side of a dry wall. So that's probably something you don't want, okay? So sticking with this, I think, makes more sense. This can also over penetrate, so be very responsible about every single round you send down range. But you're definitely increasing it with this. But when you need those 50, 60, 70 yard shot, yeah, this may be very handy, especially if you practice a little bit and know how accurate that gun is gonna be and the likely point of impact for your gun and for your ammunition. Guys, as always, you have the channel, you have the books. Any questions, more than welcome there below. See you next time. Take care.